Morning. Here is a mantra from Katha Upanishad, one of the ancient texts. And let us see. Many of you will know the first word. Suryo is Surya, is the sun. It is lovely sunshine today. Anyway, let us chant first. Om Suryo Yatha Sarvalokasya Chakshur Suryo Yatha Sarvalokasya Chakshur Nalipyate Chakshushairvahya Doshai Nalipyate Chakshushairvahya Doshai Ekas tatha sarvabhutantaratma Ekas tatha sarvabhutantaratma Nalipyate loka dukhena bahyah Nalipyate loka dukhena bahyah. I'll do once more. Suryo yatha sarvalokasya chakshur Suryo yatha sarvalokasya chakshur Nalipyate chakshushairvahya doshai Nalipyate chakshushairvahya doshai Ekas tatha sarvabhutantaratma Ekas tatha sarvabhutantaratma Nalipyate loka dukhena bahyah Nalipyate loka dukhena bahyah. And together. Suryo yatha sarvalokasya chakshur Nalipyate chakshushairvahya doshai Ekas tatha sarvabhutantaratma Nalipyate loka dukhena bahyah. We have at least several ways of chanting here. Let us see later on. As long as you recognize it is the 11-syllable meter, means one line will have 11 syllables, and I need to check it also myself. Suryo yatha sarva lokasya chakshu. 11. Nalipyate chakshu shairvahya doshai. How many? 11. Ekas tatha sarva bhutantaratma. 11. Nalipyate loka dukhena bahyah. So within those 11 there is similarity also in the pattern, in the rhythm. Suryo is Surya, the sun in the sky. Yatha, as, since or as. Sarva is all. Lokasya, loka is the world. The ultimate location for everybody is the whole loka, the whole world. What is our world? Our solar system, right? Our world is our planet, but for sure we also know there is other planets around this one sun. Sarva lokasya, of the whole world. Chakshur is chakshu. Chakshu is the eye of the whole world. If there was no sun, our eyes couldn't see anything. If there was no sun, we wouldn't even be here, right? So the sun at the center of our little bit larger world, our solar system, nevertheless reaches everywhere in the solar system, therefore is called the eye of the whole world. From the center, it sees everything, good, bad, everything. Na lipyate. Na is not, lipyate is tainted. It is not tainted. Chakshushai, there's a ha originally, It goes with doshai, bahya doshai. It is not tainted by the, let us say, bahya doshai, by the faults or flaws in the outer eyes that belong to us. Chakshushai, ocular, belonging to the eye. Chakshur and chakshusha. The words are made from words. The sun is not tainted by the taints of people's eyes or anybody's eyes. Also, it is not tainted by anything ugly that it sees. It has a couple of interpretations. The sun has to see good and bad, pure and impure, ugly, beautiful and ugly, true and false, everything. It is not affected by that, as we know. It is true. How can the sun be affected by... Suppose somebody has jaundice and they see everything yellow, or somebody has cataracts, see everything very dim. The sun, the light, or daylight is nothing but sunlight. Even at night, the moon is nothing but sunlight reflected. And the stars aren't strong enough to make us see at night. Not too much. So sunlight is by what we see. And that's what it says. Now, it is a simile. Eka, the one. Tatha. The yatha and tatha, they correlate whenever you see that. Yatha is as, tatha is so, or in a similar way, or in the same way. It's called, this is a simile, and now comes the statement. So, the one, sarva bhuta, all beings, sarva bhuta, all beings. But two sounds, two words melted together. Bhuta, antar, or antah, atma. Atma is the self, the soul, the self, the I am, the pure consciousness in us, the spirit in all. Antar is inner, so that which is the inner self of all beings. All beings, when they say all beings, they mean all beings, not just us human beings. Some other time we were animal beings, in future, who knows? God beings, all beings, all beings. And it's a word, it's a compound word, not even a phrase. In English it becomes a phrase, which comes quite a bit in Upanishads, in this Upanishad, Katha Upanishad. Sarva bhutantaratma, sarva bhutantaratma. It has a nice rhythm also. The self inside of all beings. Antar is like intra in Latin, inside, inter, sarva bhuta. So the one self in all beings, nalipyate, is not tainted, not affected. It's just like the sun is not. Loka dukkena, by dukkha is the suffering of the world and of beings in the world. Because it is inside, and the suffering is in the body and the mind, which is outside to our center. So the sun is the center of our world, is not affected by what happens on those little planets and those little creatures. Not to put anything down, but the sun doesn't even know whether it's day or night, summer or winter, it is the same. And it shines on all. Same way, our innermost self is not affected by what our body and mind go through, by definition. Because it is bahya in a different sense, the same word but different angle. It is truly transcending. It is not involved with. It is bahya in its own way. Our I am, our self, our very being, it's not an it is us. It is the I. It may also not be coincidence that I and this I by which we see sounds exactly the same. So, something related maybe? The eye. One more time, a little bit coherent translation. As the sun, which is the eye of the whole world, is not tainted by the external impurities or flaws belonging to vision, belonging to the eyes, in the same way, the one self within all beings is not tainted by the suffering of the beings, because it is independent, transcendent. It's a lovely suggestion, and we should chant it again and then see further. Om Suryo Yatha Sarvalokasya Chakshur Nalipyate Chakshushair Bahya Doshai Ekas Tatha Sarvabhutantaratma Nalipyate Loka Dukhena Bahya. So, it should not be misunderstood. All language can be rightly understood, not understood, and misunderstood. Our Guru actually emphasized that in life you have three kinds of understanding. Right understanding, everybody's happy. No understanding, well, no action possible because you don't understand. Misunderstanding, wrong action will come. Because misunderstanding, it can't be right. So here also, right understanding of the simile, it is in a context, right? It comes in the context of some other beautiful mantras. Agnir yathaiko bhuvanam pravish. Never mind, another day. Surya yatha. Sun has to be impartial, the sun. Here, in these teachings, everything is felt as a form of consciousness, a manifestation of consciousness, not unconscious, not dead, alive in that sense of the word. Not alive as we are with human beings with body and senses and feelings and mind and all that, but nevertheless, giving us life. Giving us life. We couldn't live without the sun or some other star that we should call the sun. Whatever star you live near, that you call your sun, right? I bet. So our sun is the giver of life, the giver of... There would be no planets without the sun attracting them, making them go around very nicely, getting all their light. And life doesn't happen without light either. Some kind of light. So the sun is impartial, shining on all, the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly. So our inner self has to also see everything. It is consciousness itself, that is the difference. Everything we go through in our body, in our feelings, in our mind and intellect, everything. Our innermost self is the witness of everything and beyond Bahya. Without meditation, this doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't begin to make sense, but when people have some practice of meditation, they realize something inside is independent and it can be happy even when the body is sick. And in meditation, you don't feel sick. Then you come out, you may feel it again. Otherwise, the meditation isn't real, they say. Like deep sleep is similar in the sense that you forget everything. You're not sick, you're not happy, you're not unhappy, but you're very happy, actually. Only you're unconscious. Here, meditation brings full awareness. But the mind is as calm as in deep sleep, doesn't move around. The body is totally relaxed. Therefore, meditation needs to be practiced. Yoga meditation. And for that we need to be convinced, and verses like this come along trying to make us feel it. One more time, that'll be it. Om Suryo Yatha Sarvalokasya Chakshur Nalipyate Chakshushair Bahya Doshai Ekastatha Sarvabhutantaratma Nalipyate Lokadukkhena Bahya. What should be added maybe? So the one self in all beings, as we call it, the soul, the self, does not suffer when the person goes through suffering, and is not elated, euphoric when the person goes through happiness. It is always balanced. That's how you can understand about others' sufferings also. And there will be nothing but compassion, because you know from your own experience. It is all real in its own plane, but there is a way to meditate. We can't do it for others, but yes, we can include others in our heart and mind. Prayer is a compassionate story. You pray for others. We do regularly because we know it works. There is something inside of us that is not affected by the outer. Just like the sun is not affected by the outer. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.